Hi Marcel, it's David and Pastor Cliff. I thought it would be good for us to spend a few minutes and talk about what we're doing with our interns at Marcel West Seattle, and perhaps after we have this discussion, see if it's something that you'd be interested in joining us on mission in this part of our city. Pastor Cliff Ellis is a pastor over biblical living for Marcel, and he really takes care of all of our care and counseling as well as our community groups. If you could share a little bit of what kind of oversight and shepherding they'll be getting while they're here, it might be helpful for them to hear that they're not going to be alone.
Yeah. So every intern will have a sponsoring elder or deacon who is working very closely with them in their role here at the church, helping them understand what does it mean to be a lead pastor or a biblical living pastor or an executive pastor or one of the other roles that we have here on the staff and then within our church. And then over time they'll be given more and more responsibility and ownership of certain projects or certain pieces of that. They'll be given people to lead and to equip. But all the time they'll be having someone that they'll be meeting with regularly, ideally once a week, just to meet and talk both about how they're doing personally and how they're doing in the role that they're in. For many of our interns, they'll be living with a family, so they'll have that immediate care of family, so they won't be living on their own trying to figure out a city that they're new to, but they'll have people who live here that will be taking care of them, just sharing life with them. And then that family, of course, will be attached to one of our community groups. So they'll have a community of people that'll be around them who will just want to hear how they're doing and just share life with them and be a part of the work they're doing. They'll have opportunities to invite that community group into the roles and responsibilities that they're doing here at the church, whatever ministry they may be a part of, as well as them being a part of the things that community group is trying to do in their local context. So with that, they'll have someone identified as kind of a mentor or sponsor or coach that will meet with them regularly as well to just help create a vision for what does maximizing the opportunities within this internship look like, as well as what does it look like beyond the internship? What's in store beyond this 14-month time here at Marcel West Seattle? What are some of the things that maybe God may be calling them to, or roles that they may be called to, or places they may be called to, and how can we help that person prepare for that?
I know this last year it was great because we had interns from all over the place. We had interns from Germany and from around the country, from Australia, and it was really neat because we had an opportunity to train them. And as we're training them in staff meetings and as they're working through the foundation year for Porterbrook, which we take them through in the time that they're here, they were actually able to take that sort of training back into their communities and really help the community groups as well as the community group leaders to have a more robust understanding of what mission is, what community is, and how the gospel affects everything. Is there anything that you think that you'd like to see with the new group of interns coming in? What are some areas or ways in which you'd like to see them more effectively mobilized for mission?
Yeah, one of the things we want to try to do is create opportunities for them to be out of the church building, out of the office, so to speak. There's plenty of opportunity for them to learn how does the church operate and function. What's the day in and day out of a church and the different roles within the church. But we want to create opportunities with some of the partnerships we're developing to get them out of the building into their local context and really help be a missional champion within their community group and within their neighborhood or region.
So as we bring interns in, one of the things that we'll be doing with them, as I mentioned, is training them up through Porterbrook. Porterbrook is about a 12-month curriculum. It's really a 2-year program if you go through the whole thing, but what we're taking all of our interns through is the foundation year, which is critical and super important to teach us what does it look like for us to live as a gospel community? What does it look like for us to understand good biblical theology, basic hermeneutics? How do we read the Bible? How do we interpret the parables? What is the kingdom? What does practical ministry look like? What does it look like to counsel one another with the gospel? So if you're interested in this, feel free to contact us. We at Marcel West Seattle are looking to bring in probably another 5 to 7 interns. I think we would have space for. I believe right now we have about 6 or 7. We have a group of interns that are going to be leaving in October, so there'll be some nice overlap. You'll be able to work with existing interns that will help you and develop you, as well as the elders and supervisors that are going to be overseeing you additionally. This is not a difficult process for us. If you're interested in pursuing internship, it really is just going to be a matter of clicking on the information that you'll see at the end of this video will get you in contact with Fred Choi, who's the executive pastor of Mars Hill West Seattle, and we'll have a conversation with you over the phone, maybe have you fill out some paperwork, and we'll see what God has. So be praying about it, and we'll look forward to hearing from you soon.